Yeah, well, look, unfortunately, that's a very stark reality. It is one thing for the United Nations and the European Union to call for a ceasefire or humanitarian pause. Would the Israeli Defence Forces, Hamas, Islamic Jihad abide by it? We don't know. And of course, a ceasefire pause is worth nothing unless everyone abides by it. And let's not forget where this started, or at least this phase of the conflict started, by a very brutal attack by Hamas, the Islamic resistance movement, on civilian targets in Israel, with a view to causing a provocation, with a view to making Israel invade Gaza in the hope that they would escalate tensions in the region, cause the Saudi-Israeli peace talks to come to an end. And that's actually one of the points that I'll be making is it's really important that we don't play into the hands of Hamas here. What Hamas wants is an escalation. They want to see this conflict spread to the wider region. And there are other people, quite frankly, in other parts of the world who would like to see that too, because it would take focus off Ukraine. So it's very important that we don't fall into that trap. Well, look, I'm only going into the meeting now, and I'm hopeful that we can agree a statement to call for a pause, a cessation of hostilities, a ceasefire. I think the vast majority of countries want that, but when it comes to matters of foreign policy in the European Union, they're done by consensus, not by majority vote, and that's something we have to bear in mind. And we also need to bear in mind and respect where other countries are coming from. Particularly countries that were involved in the terrible events and the terrible things that happened to Jewish people in the 30s and 40s. We need to understand where they're coming from and why so many Jewish people had to return to Israel, their ancestral homeland, because of the events of the Holocaust. And then secondly, we need to bear in mind that a lot of countries in the European Union have been subjected to terrorism by extremist Islamic groups. The Bataclan in Paris, the attacks on the metro in Spain. We need to be wise to that countries are coming at this from a very different perspective. In Ireland, we have a lot of sympathy for the Palestinian people, often driven by our own historical experience. But to get a consensus among 27 people, we're going to have to compromise, we're going to have to understand each other. And I believe it'll be possible for us to come out of here tomorrow with a unified stance as a European Union, even if we don't all agree on emphasis in detail. I think it is possible to have a common position, and that will then guide everything else everyone else says from there on.
Okay, thank you. We're starting now, so you're going to
starting? Okay.
Just
thank you.
About Israel. The Iranian government, they say we don't care what's happening in Israel and we don't enter to the fight. But it's not really. What's your opinion? Because the Iranian government they support the Hamas.
No, there is clear evidence that the Iranian government is supporting Hezbollah in Lebanon, is supporting Hamas in Palestine, is supporting the Houthis in Yemen, and is a destabilising actor in world affairs. Thank you.